Today I learned why paper cuts are so painful as we see at a microscopic level. Paper is actually quite rough. A knife makes a straight cut, but paper acts like a saw blade and does more damage to cells and nerve endings. Paper also leaves behind tiny fibers and chemical residues, irritating the wound even more.
My finger hurts just reading this. Paper is bad, but brown cardboard, corrugated cardboard, is the fricking devil. It's treated with so many chemicals it basically gets inflamed instantly and stings for 24 hours. Strangely enough, I have found that applying chapstick it really stops the pain. Some lemon juice will fix that right up. It's also because our fingertips are very sensitive, and the cut isn't very deep, so the nerve endings are not damaged and work completely. Also, they don't bleed a whole lot, so the nerves are exposed to be more irritated.
Today I learned that after firefighters saved piglets from a barn fire, 6 months later the farmer sent them sausages made from the piglets as a thank you gift.
Oh, the baby pigs and 2 sows were freed by firefighters from Pusey in Wiltshire when a barn went up in flames in February. The farmer, Rachel Rivers, promised she would present the firefighters with organic sausages when the animals were slaughtered for their meat. 6 months later she did just that, and the firefighters cooked the bangers on a barbecue. Damn, they were in on it too. The next day, the firefighters rescued a burning brothel. Usually, the firefighters eat the remains on site. In recognition of their generosity, the farmer shared her bounty out of the fire into the frying pan.
Today I learned that according to a study, strict parents can turn their kids into more effective liars because children who are afraid to tell the truth learn more deceptive behaviors to avoid getting in trouble.
I'd think it would have to be the same for kids with abusive parents. If you know you're going to be abused for anything but the perfect answer, you will get really good at telling people what they want to hear instead of the truth. Also, in dysfunctional families, we tell the best stories. Yup, I grew up with beatnik dad and I had a few classmates with tiger parents. Those kids knew how to lie. One girl was floored when I told her my dad and I would talk every day about everything. I had strict parents and it's easier for me to make up a lie than tell the truth. It's a great skill. I can attest to this. Very strict parents became extremely good at lying and manipulating everyone around me, even when there was no reason to do so. Lost a lot of friends once if grew up and had to work really hard to break the habit and embrace honesty. Edit. Spelling.
Today I learned that Billy West, who does the voice of Philip J. Fry's on Futurama among other characters, intentionally made Fry's voice close to his natural voice as a job security measure because it would be more difficult to replace him.
Has this been H. John Benjamin's plan this whole time? Haha, Billy West, what a stupid, phony, made-up name. He has a few characters that are just a slightly modified version of his own voice, like the Red M&M and Stimpy. Stimpy was technically supposed to be more like Larry Fine from the Three Stooges. They're voices that are so identifiably Billy West, because they sound like him. But then he's the voice for Zapp Brannigan, Nixon, Professor Farnsworth that don't sound like him at all. Hard to imagine that one of the greatest voice actors of all time needed job security. Now shut up and take my money, Billy. I've also heard him say in multiple interviews that Fry reminds him of himself when he was that age. So that was just his vision for the voice of the character. A younger sounding version of himself.
Today I learned that the moon is 1,400th the size of the sun but also 1,400th the distance from Earth, which results in the moon and the sun being the same size in the sky. A coincidence not shared by any other known planet-moon combination. So that's why we have near-perfect solar eclipses, sometimes cool. It's easier to explain why the moon shouldn't be there than it is to explain why the moon is there. Some guy. Edit. Isaac Asimov. Really?
The sun is only 400 times larger than the moon. That doesn't sound right. Edit. Okay, in diameter that does sound reasonable. So in volume it would be 4,003 times larger. 64 million. Everything makes sense again. Oh, another cool math thing with the sun and moon. We all know the gravity of the moon affects the Earth's tides. But BC of the density and angular distance of the sun, it actually has almost exactly half the gravitational effect as the moon. Like if you do the math it comes out so freaking close to half it's kinda mind-blowing considering what we're comparing. We have a weird setup here on Earth. Edit. Apparently it's density and angular distance, not distance and mass like I said before. Sorry, it's been a while since I took that ocean science class. When I was younger I thought the sun and moon were the same thing and someone was turning it on and off.
Today I learned Anthony Daniels, who endured years of discomfort in the C-3PO costume, was so annoyed by Alan Tudyk, Rogue One, playing K2SO in the comfort of a motion capture suit that he cursed at Tudyk. Tudyk later joked that a "frick you" from Daniels was among the highest compliments he had ever received.
Quote from Tudyk. Anthony Daniels went on about the suit that he had to wear in. Originally they put screws in my head, they closed it and he had to be on this thing. He said, "Wait a minute. Are you wearing an actual robot costume or are they doing it in motion capture?" I said. "Motion capture," he said. "You shit." And then I saw him at the premiere. And I said, "Hello again. I'm gonna ask you for notes when it's over. So if you can please tell me how I did." I saw him at the party afterwards and he came up and he said, "Fuck you." And that's one of the best compliments I got. Either way, that is not language becoming of a protocol droid. Even though he is supposed to be an absolute a-hole, I'd say he was sweating his nuts and bolts off wearing that suit in the desert. From what I've read over the years, Anthony Daniels is something of a notorious prick. Supposedly the reason C-3PO was broken down into parts in Empire Strikes Back is cause Anthony Daniels was in a contract dispute and they said, "Frick it, we'll just have Chewie carry him." Daniels seems like a pretentious asshole.
Today I learned that the NFL made a committee to falsify information to cover up brain damage in their players.
NFL players have evolved to a state where their brains are less susceptible to injury. That's just bad TV levels of douchebaggery. Dr. Ira Kassan, who was then co-chair of MTBI, denied in a televised interview that there was any link between head injuries sustained playing in the NFL and long-term brain damage. His repeated denials won him the nickname Dr. No. In September 2009, the New York Times published an article of an NFL-funded study stating that former players are 19 times more likely than the general population to have dementia, Alzheimer's or other memory-related diseases, and #X200B. Wow, that is so insanely freaking scummy. Concussion starring Will Smith is a movie centered around chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, in the NFL, but I still haven't watched it, so I don't know if they have this committee in it. Billion-dollar industry does everything in its power, including lying, cheating, illegalities, to prevent its profits from being affected. No way. I never would have imagined it possible.
Today I learned Donnie Yen, the blind monk in Star Wars, Rogue One star of the Ip Man films, was once leaving a Hong Kong nightclub with his girlfriend when they were attacked by a gang who had been bothering them earlier in the night. Donnie hospitalized 8 of them. We should all go in one at a time even though we've formed a circle around him. Malaysian martial arts star Michelle Yeoh has said that Donnie Yen is the fastest guy she has worked with. Other martial arts stars such as Jackie Chan and Jet Li have also stated that Yen may be the best fighter in terms of practical combat in the Asian cinematic universe. "This is the cinematic universe I've been waiting for. And he's gonna be the captain in Mulan. He's gonna punch Huns to death and it's gonna be great." While filming Ip Man 3, crew members were afraid that Mike Tyson
who had been a professional boxer, would forget the choreography and throw real punches to injure Yen. However, it was ultimately Yen who fractured Tyson's finger while using his elbow to block Tyson's punches. Guy number 8 should have given up after the first 7 went down. Yen joined the Chinatown gang in Boston, MA. In his early years, he was a very curious teenager who sought to exchange martial arts knowledge with people from different martial arts backgrounds, which led to him gaining profound knowledge in practical martial arts and having a reputation as a street brawler. This honestly sounds like part of a superhero origin movie.